Okay, call the meeting to order and review and approval of the November 6 minutes. They look fine to me.
Yep, I move that we, it was written. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any public comments? We love public comments. Pam, you want to comment?
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. I know
Hi.
I just sent you a really quick email. I'm really looking for some input on advisory opinions from the public. So that's basically what I sent you, was just a question I had about, I don't really want to file a formal complaint, let's say, but I just have a concern about some things that have been going on, and I've noticed some questionable activity. And is the public allowed to request an advisory opinion from you on such a matter?
Yes. I mean, it's,
Does the code allow that? Yes.
well, it's phrased in terms of a complaint.
Yeah, anyone can make a complaint.
Well, yeah, so she's saying
Make
advisory,
a complaint.
yeah, advisory
Yeah, I'm not
opinion.
really making a formal complaint. It's more on the advisory level.
Advisory are only for town employees.
Yeah, I mean, the opinion only applies to current employees and officials, including board members,
We can't tell you what to do or not do.
unless you're on a board.
Right.
Is that clear?
She wants to make a complaint against
A third party?
against an employee, but not make a complaint.
Oh,
Right, and that's actually something that we're going to talk about today a little more.
you want to make an anonymous complaint? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I know that that's a possibility, but no, I just was wondering how the law applies to certain activities of committee members, as I said, as far as maybe an appearance of impropriety
Yeah,
in particular.
Yeah, so
So,
Pam, if you look at section 8-18D, that's the substantive authority that the ethics board has. So again, for a member of the public, the vehicle would be a complaint. So basically, you can submit whatever you want, and then the board will make a determination whether they have the authority to take it on or not.
right, there's three methods. Employee can ask for themselves. A member of the public can ask or file the complaint, and the board can initiate investigation of things that we feel should be.
And I don't think we allow for anonymous complaints. I think we allow for complaints that we will keep
We may provide anonymity.
anonymity, but
Yes.
the complaint itself can't be anonymous.
Well,
right, that I understand. Yeah, that I did understand in the legislation there. I'm sorry, Mr. Kylie, can you give me that number again?
Sure, it's section 8-18D as in dog.
Okay, I'll take a look. Yeah, I mean,
But again- But
yeah,
again, the board has some flexibility based on what they deem what you're asking. So whatever you want to ask, present it, and then let them make a determination. They
okay,
will
well, I
respond
guess-
to you and let you know.
Okay. Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I assume what I sent just now is sufficient for the moment.
did you send it?
I haven't.
There's some concerns. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I really have a lot of family things happening. I have a lot
Yeah,
of
me
little
too.
people in my family, so my time is precious.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I-
hate to make an excuse for late submissions, but yeah, if you can take a look. I mean, I realize you're having a meeting today, and I just had some thoughts over the weekend, and I thought, oh, let me get it out.
Pam, I didn't,
Did you send it to
we
the
didn't
board of
receive
ethics?
anything.
I don't have anything.
I've sent it to the BOE at Shelter Island Town.gov.
Yeah, we haven't received it, Pam. So,
Really?
Try again.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate all you're doing to get these things straightened out. It's a whole new venue of information and study for me. It's quite a task when you get into the nitty-gritty of it
Fascinating.
all. So I commend you on all your efforts.
Why don't you send it
Thanks
also
very
directly to
much.
Duff, and that way if it doesn't come to the group, he can distribute it to the rest of us.
Okay, I'll do that. Very good. Thanks again.
Thanks a lot. Okay, any more public comments? Anybody? No. So we can do one thing in public today to the extent that we don't bring up individual names, right? And that is, we can talk about the rules and procedures that we're improving. And then we have to do some things in executive session. And as I mentioned, there's some guests. I hope that they both show up. And then we'll talk about whether those, to the extent that that can be in public or not, at least one of them, right?
Yes.
So, and then we do have to do some stuff in executive session because it relates to people's finances or employment. So rules and procedures, is it okay if I hand out what you sent me as,
Yeah, I have a copy of it.
because I have to make copies. And so what this is a good start by Laura and Deborah on codifying something. That's Michelle. So
Here, I guess.
the rules and procedures, and then it also has under it the first draft that was noticed in our agenda, which distinguishes what comes from the actual code and what comes from things that we're adding. So for some of you, this is first impression, but look at ethics board procedure. So Laura or Deborah, do you want to brief us?
Laura took the reins in this, thank goodness, and so Laura, you go. And I just recommend that we go pretty fast through the first part because that we were, both of us, really in agreement on, and we spend most of our time on the final part where we were more confused.
Okay, so in the first part, I just divided the different instances in which we act our authority into the 4 pieces and then describe the procedures for each of those. So the first one deals with an officer, employee, and initiated requests for advice, advisory committee. The second is third-party complaints, and I put it in the order of the code section, 8-18D. And then, so I, again, just listed what, I frankly, I did this long enough ago that I don't remember exactly what we were doing, but one question I did raise was, we've talked about these informal opinions that we're gonna offer, and we have to make sure we're on firm legal ground with that, I guess, and then what procedures we should follow for that, like chatting here about it with somebody or issuing something in writing or an email. I mean,
Because
that's very fuzzy to me.
right. They've been the ones with the shortest timeframes as well. Like I would like
True, they want
Monday,
Yeah,
and yet some significance.
so we're I'm just a little uncomfortable with the informality of it all, but that's, then C, we're board initiated investigations. And then finally, I have no idea about the potentially void contracts. The fourth instance in which we act are potentially void contracts. And so again, we have to think about what those should say. I mean, I could just make up stuff, but I'd rather get input from other people. And then I went to the conduct of investigations. And in that part, it was, I wasn't really sure what to say, how we should expand on what the code says. The code says is, as I said, it's pretty specific. And I don't know if how far beyond we should go. I mean, I think I was comparing all of this to what you did in this original one. And this was conduct of investigations. Did you? Again, I think it was largely investigations. Okay.
Starting with paragraph 25.
Yeah. I think I drew from I quoted the code, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't sure what else we want to put in there. Again, it's not my document, I don't want to make stuff up.
Yeah.
And I know we were going back and forth between yours, which included a lot from the code and things. And then opinions. I still have trouble with the language in your 30, time permitting, the Essex Board will run its
Gotcha.
findings by the employee. I just really am really uncomfortable with that, and so I didn't put that in. That doesn't mean, and then the reference to common law in your 31, I was a little confused about too. So that just kind of,
I don't see common law in my 31.
You do, it is
Yeah,
the
it's
ethics
ethics
code or
code.
common law conflict of interest.
Oh, okay, thank you.
that's where that kind of comes up. Oh, actually, no, you have a reference above.
Okay,
How to write that into this code, I just don't know.
yeah,
Maybe there should be a whole section about common law violations that are within our jurisdiction, and
yeah. I think
that's
we
where they
need
are,
to
but,
talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, again, I divided this advisory opinions, complaint or board initiated opinions,
Mhm,
and potentially void contract.
Good. Well, I like that because advisory opinions are presumptively confidential. Complaint or board initiated opinions, not necessarily as presumptively confidential.
Did I deal with that here? I can't remember. Are you,
I like how it's organized. and-
okay, but again, I don't know. Oh, here, confidentiality. Oh, and then also I raised a question in B2 of Roman numeral 3. I mean, the confidentiality extends to future members of the Board of Ethics who may reviewed older. That sentence didn't make, I wasn't sure what we were saying.
Just trying to figure out how to, what we do with future members. They can go back and read.
Yeah. Right, I just didn't know confidentiality extending to them didn't work for me, so I wasn't sure about that, you know?
I think what it means is that they can read it, so it's not withheld from them, but once they read it, they cannot discuss it. They still.
Right, I just think we should be more explicit.
Yeah,
Hold the
me too.
confidential.
That's what, I thought that was probably what you meant, but I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
completely sure.
That's good. Do you want to go over the reading things, just to get a little more discussion?
Sure. And anybody, these are the procedures that we're going to follow. So the question is, what do we as a group or any of the individuals think should be part of our procedures?
Yeah, okay, in general.
In general, yeah,
Let's just not get
bogged down.
by any procedure that we don't want to have hit
Right.
on us outside of the code, is what I think. But if it's helpful, any procedures that are helpful, I think it's good. What, Deborah?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Bob? What do you think? I mean, in general, Stephen?
Defer to the board. This is all your
Oh, no, you're the guy.
procedures and policies. But my only thing is, we can't go outside the scope of the code.
Exactly. That's where I read the informal opinions
Correct.
part. I don't
If
know
you
where.
want
we
to
stand.
provide informal opinions in the future, we'd have to amend the code to allow that.
Well, no, I don't agree with that because ethics law has common law.
Well, no, but I'm saying,
Informal.
what we want to do as a town is, I understand, like, broadly speaking, the ethics board, also has this common law authority.
Yeah.
Ambiguous authority out there.
Right.
What we want to do is, as we work through all of this, codify that and bring it into the code. So everyone, residents, employees all know
Yeah,
what your
notice.
authority is, instead of, again, this amorphous.
Yeah,
law.
like, oh, there might be something. That's
Correct.
kind of why I wanted to put it in the annual report to the town board, and then the newspaper also printed that key part, and somebody's going to come in today to talk to us about it.
About what?
That one quote, well, recusal is mandatory for financial conflicts, but optional for other types of conflicts. Somebody's going to come in to talk to us about it. He thought it was too broad, maybe it is.
Mhm.
But we're beginning to develop a
Yeah.
principle there.
Okay.
It probably would be good to codify, right?
Yes.
So that people have notice.
Correct.
So, Laura, you think?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of it.
Because at this
I
point, we
looked back at the code, so I didn't bring a copy of. I
At
have
this
it in
point,
here.
We just tried to draw the bright line on financial conflicts. But there's this other stuff going on that we've tried to advise several boards on.
Appearance of impropriety or something. But
Right.
Or not even impropriety, it's more like a
Non-financial.
Exactly, a conflict
Right.
that's valid but not.
Again,
financial.
a drinking buddy, a best friend, it's like a neighbor,
Yeah. Yeah. So this,
put their objectivity in question.
Yeah,
right. So,
and in fact, we heard we heard that case recently that wasn't about money,
we've had about three of them.
three that weren't about money, yeah.
And they tend to be these same ones that we're calling informal, where somebody wants to know by Monday if such and such. You know?
Yeah,
Why do we need to have something called informal? I think we should have all our decisions, because you're gonna put it in writing.
Mhm.
I mean, why do we have this category of informal?
Do we? Is
Yes, we
that,
don't require, how are you, Rupert? Well, first of all, the procedures as they're currently written say a request must be submitted in writing,
right.
acknowledge receipt.
the person who came to us to find out whether somebody could sit on a committee or not,
Yeah.
did we render that person an informal decision?
No, that person, we said, hey, ask the town board. And they did ask the town board. And this, right, so we didn't like approve, say, it's cool to name so-and-so to your committee. We like, and I think that they like,
Yeah, for good reason,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it might be helpful at this point that you make a motion to go into
To executive session, so we don't have to
Discuss
talk-
the
we don't have to
employee
talk
history
around.
of
Yeah, we are talking.
Just so, again, we could use these concrete examples and
Yeah.
figure out the procedures.
Yeah, we're getting right into it, and some of these are in the anonymized opinion summary that I handed out as well. So let's go into executive session so we can speak candidly about employees' financial and employment situations. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Pam, we got your email.